Welcome to the Los Culeros podcast, where the arrows fly straight and the conversations stay real. We're your hosts, Jose Jara and Josh Peña. We're just a couple of everyday guys with a growing love for the archery, the outdoors, and the journey that comes with both. By no means are we pros or veterans, but we're all in. Whether you're new to the bow or have years under your belt, you're welcome here. This podcast is all about sharing stories, learning from guests, and building a community around the sport we've grown to love. So grab your bow, lace up your boots, and join us as we dive into archery, hunting, and life, one shot at a time. So we have a new guest with us today. We got Jesus Romero. He's a longtime friend, new into the archery community, and we're gonna just kind of pick his brain and see kind of where he's at, and just kind of see what he's been getting into and what he's enjoying and not enjoying about the archery stuff. And then of course we have Josh here still.
Hello.
So let's get into it. So what do you think has been the hardest part about getting into archery, Chewy?
Actually, it's just getting the bow. You had been telling me for years to try it, to get into it, and I just never did. And I didn't. I'm like, well, I'll just shoot my guns.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, back in July, I asked you if you had a bow, and I got a bow from you. And after that, it's just I've been in love with it.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. It's Josh's fault. He got me addicted, and now I'm in debt.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
That's the way it happens.
Yeah. That's the one thing. It's just getting into it, and I knew you were gonna enjoy it because you're pretty into like the gun world.
Mm-hmm.
You're pretty familiar with that. You've gone through different phases in that aspect of it, and I kind of figured once you got bit by the archery bug, you were gonna get hooked.
Oh yeah, that was right away. Like as soon as I started, started shooting and started figuring out what was going on. I still don't know nothing about arrows, but I'm learning.
No, man, I mean, you've been sending us pictures of your groups and stuff. It's like, damn it, man, you're on it. You know what I mean? Robin Hoods and you got into arrow building recently, and yeah. It's like I told you earlier, man. It's cool to see you so happy with it.
Yeah, and it's at my house I got two big dogs. When I go shooting, they would bark crazy, and it wasn't that much fun to go shoot because then they'll get all mad or their anxiety will go up. So now with the bow, I could shoot with them walking around and they don't even care.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I bet your neighbors love you getting into this new archery hobby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. One of the things that I was gonna talk about is we were talking about your groupings, and then you getting into starting to build your own arrows. You got into it a lot faster than I did. It took me a year and a half, and it was out of pure necessity. Like I had to start fledging my own arrows because of COVID. And for you, it seems like it was something that kind of happened naturally. And is that kind of the same because of the way you do like your ammunition?
Actually, no. It was trial and error, I guess. I did those quick fleshings.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the way they ended up. Again, you were the one who gave me the fletching jig.
Bitzenberger?
And at first I was like, nah, this is too hard. I don't want to do it. And then one day I was just like, I have the glue, I have fletchings. I'm just going to sit down and do it.
Yeah.
And actually just calm me down. And, because I have anxiety and, just sitting there. And before I knew it, I had 10 arrows done.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, dang, this is a lot better than, that shrink wrap and,
Yeah.
So, but I do I load shotgun shells, and it's the same thing. Like once you figure it out and you just keep going, and it's fun and it's quiet. I could just stay in my little corner and
get it put together.
Yeah.
So it makes you focus on what you're doing, right? Without even actually knowing that you're focusing on it.
Yeah. By the time you know it, you're already down 4 arrows, and then it kind of puts you in touch with the actual arrow, not just shooting it, but you could actually kind of see how it's built or why it's built this way, or is it messing with it?
Yeah, that was one thing that we touched about on the last episode, is once you start getting into doing things yourself, like no one's going to do it the way that you want it done.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
it takes a lot more passion, and it's something that I think it'll improve your shooting. And have you seen a difference between you fletching your own arrows and the ones you're getting store bought?
Yeah, I could see a big difference.
Yeah.
I thought the store bought, the quick fletch,
Mm-hmm.
I thought those were good, and I thought my groupings were good until I started doing my own, and I did the 4 fletch.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just mentally, but if my group's gotten tighter,
Yeah,
I feel a lot better.
yeah. Chewy's got better groupies than us now.
Yeah, definitely.
But I shoot. I get home and I'll shoot for an hour or two, and I got the land and everything. And
that's what it's all about, man. Just getting out there and shooting your bow and getting to know it. You know, back when I started, it was the same thing. Before work, I would shoot as much as I could, and then when I got home from work, same thing. Just go out there and shoot, and that's how you get good at it. Then you start, like you. Starting to tinker, and we told you keep it simple. Keep it simple, because you're gonna be like us, and then go into the deep end, and then fucking moving everything.
Second mortgage.
Second mortgage. 6 bows on the wall.
Yeah. No, another thing I want to touch on too is I know for me, when I started getting into the archery stuff, and it was like an outlet. It was something that I could do on my own. Because before archery, I was doing a lot of softball, and it was trying to get 11, 12 grown men to do one thing, and with archery, it's just you and your equipment. And for me, it really helped calm me down, and it really helped with my anxiety. How's that been different for you? Or
yeah, it's been, I think the same. I could just go home. It's quiet, something I don't have to wear earmuffs. I could have my phone playing music if I wanted to, and just, there's something about hearing the bow, and then you hear your target, you hear it slap. Just like when we shoot, you could hear the metal or something, but this time it's I don't know. It's relaxing, just holding back, and then you just let it fly, and it's just, you could see, like in real time, you could practice all these little things you guys taught me, just to relax, just don't punch the trigger, just kind of pull back.
All the things we don't do. We're all hypocrites over here. I had a question for you. I'm sorry, but whenever you're shooting and stuff, do you find yourself like your mind just goes blank? So there's so much things to focus on. Your pin, your bubble, your grip.
So lately, when I first started, I had a little checklist. I had my stance right, and then I would make sure I was knocked in. I was, and the more I've been shooting, it just comes like I don't have to count anymore. I could just pull back. I see my bubble, and then I see where I'm at, and I could release. Before, it was more of a checklist. It's like, okay, my feet's good, my stance is good, and then pull through, breathe, and try to just focus on the target. And just I think I might start messing with my sight, because when it's too bright, the little pin blurs out, and I think I have an issue with that. So I think the next thing I might invest or move on to would be the clarifiers. But besides that, it just feels not like, I can't say it's natural because I haven't been doing it so long, but it's getting to that point where I don't have to worry about my bubble. But when we're out 3D shooting, I try to stay with that list, because then I'll forget. Like, I won't check my bubble, and then I wonder why it didn't fly right or something. Or
it's always good to have a good cadence like that, and just kind of go over your process. That's something that John Dudley taught me personally, is to go ahead and make sure that I follow that same cadence. Because me and him go way back. So I try to keep that in mind whenever I'm shooting. No, but another thing I was going to talk to you about is I know you put in for the draw this year for archery. Is that your first time putting in for an archery tag?
That was my very first time putting in for it. Yeah.
Did you notice a difference between putting in for an archery tag versus a rifle tag?
Honestly, I was more excited for this would have been my first bow hunt.
Yeah.
But I didn't draw any.
Yeah.
So I was actually a little more disappointed this time. my son got drawn for a rifle, so I
yeah.
could still go. I could go with you guys. But I was actually looking really you know, I got arrows to build a elk arrow, and it actually bummed me out a little bit more that I didn't get it. I for sure thought I would be able to get one, but
maybe there's still a chance, man. Leftover tags are coming.
I think in June,
I think this month. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so that's my last ditch effort for this year.
Yeah,
but definitely I'll put in next year, and I'll put in a lot more.
You think you'll be putting in for archery tag going forward, or are you still gonna try to do rifle?
No, archery for sure. Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, because it's just, well, you know, I'm not a good hunter, but I like going out there and learning. And it's just now with the bow, it's just like, it feels like you stepped it up a notch. And now it's not, oh, you could see a deer at 300 yards and take the shot. Like, you're going to have to get personal. Like, you're going to have to do your homework. I can't just go out a week before and then go scouting.
Yeah, like, it's definitely a challenge, getting in bow range. But I think they both have their difficulties to overcome. But I've never rifled hunt, so I really can't speak on that.
I have, but it's one of those things, man, where I never rifle hunted on my own terms. You know, I was always with grown-ups, some uncle or my grandpa or my dad, and to be honest, I mean, I've been on a lot of deer hunts. I've only fired one shot at one deer before the rifle was taken out of my hands. Somebody ran out of bullets in their rifle, and they took mine. But when I was a young kid, I was probably like, I don't know, 12, 13 years old, and I still haven't seen a buck bigger than the one I shot at. And it was an experience, but that was the only shot I ever fired. With a bow, I've shot at a few of them. You know, and like you said, it's more personal. It's more, primal, dude. Yeah, it's because you're trying to outsmart them on their own turf. You know what I mean? You're not just taking a shot from a quarter mile away. It's a little bit different. Now, there's some deer out there that as soon as they see you, they're experienced and they're gone.
Yeah.
You know,
those are all the ones I bump into.
Yeah, for sure. You've gotten better though, man. You're not as heavy-footed out there.
Yeah. I've graduated to a Padawan. Yeah, I've gotten a little better.
So hold on, going back to those steps that you're talking about. Where did you get those steps from? Your process? How did you figure that out?
Going back to you guys, all the little, you know, I'll be shooting and you guys will be like, hey, you know, your stance isn't right. Some stuff I did pick up on YouTube. One of my coworkers, he used to shoot for the bow shop, so he kind of, you know, but I just been picking up, you know, what you guys tell me.
Who's your coworker?
Richie.
Oh, Rich. Oh, Basha?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. We know that guy.
Yeah. So he helped me a lot just to kind of, you know, remember, you know, he told me start with your stance and, you know, go like that. And then too, watching Hara not knock an arrow or you're going to pull back and it's like, oh, you need an arrow.
Hey,
and that's something too. I'm like, man, I got to make sure. 'Cause in the moment, you click your release on it, and then, you know, I don't look at my arrow when I pull back, but that's been something that I've been looking at too. And then, you know, and then when we range it, I always count my pins before, you know, if it's the 3D, if it's 30 yards, I'm like, okay, 20, 30, you know, but I think that's something I'm going to have to learn out in the field, you know, hunting. I have to get better with the yardage and rangefinder.
I think 3D helps with that though, because it gives you some pressure.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely.
I don't know about you, but whenever we started shooting 3D, I started to feel a little bit more pressure. I mean, anybody that's shot in the backyard, compared to shooting in a competition or 3D, I think you can notice a difference. My problem is, I don't get to see you guys that often, so when we go shoot 3D, I tend to talk more than I shoot, and then I forget what I'm there for, and then I'm like, oh crap, I forgot to knock an arrow.
Yeah,
you know. So.
Yeah, and then like with me, I show you guys my groups and everything, but when we go out 3D, it feels like I rush myself.
Yeah,
and then I'm like, man, like I could shoot better than this, but you know, and then too with the targets, I have to actually focus on our circles, our rings, and everything, instead of just trying to get like that one kill shot, I guess.
Yeah.
So I got to start doing that a little bit more.
That's one thing that 3D helps with is you know, I don't know how many times I've heard it, but it's what is it, aim small, miss small.
Aim small, miss small.
You know,
yes,
so that's something that teaches you to do that when you're out there shooting at those 12 rings or 10 ring. You know, it kind of puts it into perspective, and then whenever you get out there in the field, you can focus on a little patch of different colored hair or a shadow or a blade of grass or something to kind of reference where you're shooting at, and it makes it a little bit easier. But I'm definitely glad I got into the 3D stuff because, you know, there's nothing like the pressure when everything matters and you're on an animal, and you can't replicate that. But I think 3D is pretty close. 3D is pretty close.
Yeah, and I think it's important too, man. I mean, like you said, you want to fine tune your stuff so you actually know where the rings are and you're shooting at the ring.
Mm-hmm.
I think our natural instinct is to shoot at something that, you know, a kill spot. And a lot of times, you know, I'll forget to pick up the binos and look at what I'm shooting at. I'm just going off of, okay, well, it would be right here. And you hit a kill shot, you know, that's a dead deer or that's a dead whatever you're shooting at. You know that, but you go up there and it's a 5. You know, it's outside of the range. Let's say no, but in reality, if you're actually shooting at an animal, that would be the spot to shoot. So it is different. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to see the rings on some animals, not like a bag target where it's bright and yellow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're in the right direction. You know, you're going in the right direction as to knowing what you're shooting at and picking a spot and going after that.
Yeah. No, I've been pretty impressed with the progress you've made in a couple of months. Because I mean, it's been almost a year. Almost a year you've been shooting, and you know, this last shoot you were at, I'm like, Jesus Christ, he beat me. I was like, what the heck, man? You know, but it's good, man, and it's good seeing that out of you and seeing you get kind of, you know, giddy and happy about being out there, and it's definitely fun, man, and it's more fun to have you guys around, you know, like you and George and Josh, to go out there and kind of have fun, hang out for a little bit, and then, you know, put some arrows into some targets and do it again next month.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it just feels like it's not fast enough for the next one coming up.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, it's been a long time. Yeah.
We need to talk to that guy in charge of that club.
Yeah, I know.
President, bro.
Yeah, god dang it.
I hear he's an asshole.
Yeah.
A lot of people are mad at him.
What's one piece of equipment that you feel like has been a game changer for you, like, or like essential for being out there in 3D?
I'm gonna have to say the thumb release.
The thumb release.
Yeah. You know, it took away that like punching the trigger. I've been trying to pull back, as you know how, like, you know, just put pressure on it and pull back, and I feel like that's been a change. That and then fletching. Yeah, you know, getting good arrows. That's the one thing that I like those Eastons.
And the Easton, what are you shooting? The 6.5?
Yeah. I think they're the bow hunters. Or the hunter. I think
they're called the Easton 6.5.
6.5.
I don't know if there's another label to them.
Okay.
But I mean, they're damn good arrows, man.
Yeah.
And they're pretty inexpensive too.
Yeah.
But they fly good. Their weights are good. I built some for my wife, and I mean, she's happy with them.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't like, the weight consistency is a big thing for me whenever I'm building arrows. So if I chop them all down to the same length and there's a big weight variance, I don't really like those, you know, those arrows. I'll still build them, but I'd probably give them away before I would actually use them.
Yeah, Easton's pretty good about that.
Easton is really good on that. Yeah, so they're a lightweight arrow.
Durable as hell.
They are, dude. They're very durable.
Those things are freaking tanks.
Yeah, man, they're tanks. I like them. I know I don't shoot them myself, but I would definitely shoot those arrows.
Yeah. No, you got me my first dozen, and after that, I'm just like, man, I need to keep getting them. So I got me another dozen, and I just like them. So
yeah. And then, I don't know if you know this already, or if you bought them fletched, but if you buy them, since you're into buying arrows or building arrows, buying them bare shaft, man, it'll be cheaper for you.
Way cheaper.
Yeah, that's how I got them.
Yeah, and it's way funner to build them, like, as you know now.
Yeah, what I like to do, especially like beginning of the season, I didn't get to do it this year because I was kind of set on what I was going to do. but I'll get a dozen arrows and I'll fletch different fletchings, different configurations. So I'll do like a 3 fletch, 4 fletch, and then different fletchings, and I'll shoot 3. 3 of 3 fletch, 3 of 4 fletch, 3 of different fletching, 3 and then kind of take it from there, and then make my selection. Okay, I'm gonna run 3 vein with the new AAE Max Razor. And that kind of helps too, just kind of seeing what comes out of your bow better. And that's the one thing I liked about the Bitzenberger, the tunability and adjustability on that little jig is pretty cool. Yeah.
So whenever you're testing your different configurations, at what distance are you shooting?
So I'll go 20, 30, 40, 50, and then take it from there and just kind of see what the groups look like. I'll do kind of the same concept I'm doing when I'm tuning. I'll make an X and I'll aim at that middle X. And, if I'm shooting left high, I'm not too worried about the sight tape at that moment. I'm worried about the grouping of the arrows. And that's something that you can see consistently with 3 different arrows. You can see, okay, this group's here. This group's a little bit bigger. This group's a little bit smaller. And then you kind of figure out what your bow likes. Because those things are pretty finicky, man. Like, I noticed that when I switched from the Evo NTN to the carbon bow, my arrow configuration changed completely. Yeah.
So it's kind of the same concept, right? With building bullets or buying bullets for your rifle, right? Some bullets have bigger groups than others, and I found out with that 300 mag is that the Remington Torlock, it's a great bullet, but that rifle didn't like it.
And
so
that sounds crazy, huh? When you say that, that rifle didn't like it, or that bow didn't like it, but it's so true.
The same grain, everything just. I went with Federal, dude, and I went from 3-inch groupings at 100 to 1-inch.
Yeah,
it's just the craziest thing. Like, and I don't know the specs of and how that all works. Why it does that, but that rifle likes the Federal ammunition. And I never tried Hornady or anything like that, but the Federal I really liked. My first bow, the PSC Drive R, FMJs, dude. FMJs, I mean, it's just the perfect arrow. I mean, the balance was almost dead center. I don't know what that means for FOC.
Yeah.
But
it means it has some.
It means it has some. So when I went from fill points to broadheads, I didn't have to change the sights at all. I didn't have to re-sight in anything. It was just dead on. And I could never, to this day, I can't replicate that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I've never shot just always fill points. When you go to broadheads, do you have to change your sight or do you got to re-sight it?
It depends, because you can get like a same weight of a broadhead for the field point. And I've experienced it 2 ways. So we shot my first elk hunt. I shot the tooth of the arrow, and I was off like an inch high left. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna change my bow. And I went out there and it worked. But then I tried what was it? Grim Reaper mechanical broadhead, and that flew almost identical to my field point. So it just depends. Some people make adjustments to they'll stop shooting the field point and they'll go straight to the broadhead. But they also say, depending on your tune on your bow and how well you paper tune it and all that stuff, that it should fly the same. But different broadhead manufacturers, different field point manufacturers, and I mean, it feels like it's getting closer to where they should match. But there's some that don't, some that do.
There's a bunch of videos out there, man, where people try to get them to match field point to broadhead, and sometimes that goes into like moving your shims on your bow, on your cams and stuff, and it's a little bit more technical. What I found that with lighter arrows, I've had more success in tuning where I wanted to hit with mechanical broadheads. I went with a gold tip Velocity XT, super light arrow, put a fixed broadhead. I think I was using a Muzzy 3-blade or 4-blade, and I couldn't hit at 20 yards for nothing. You know, that thing would come off the bow sideways, dude, and I couldn't. And my brother had the same issue.
Mm-hmm.
So that year I went with the let's see, Grim Reaper, and yeah, they flew true. You know, I didn't have to change much. A little bit on the longer distances, like maybe 70, 80 yards.
Yeah,
I'd have to move my pins down a little bit, but not a whole lot.
Yeah.
You know, so but it's always wise to, you know, if you're gonna go that route and choose a broadhead, shoot before you have to go out there, right? So you get to use that, and then of course, don't try to like use your fill points or shoot your fill points and stuff, and then go back and move to your broadheads if they're not shooting the same, because it's just gonna mess up your mental, I think.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
That's the worst thing you want out there too, man. It's happened to me where I missed a good size 8-point buck at 64 yards, and I shot under him, and then I saw a bigger one later on that day at 70, and I didn't take the shot because I missed at 64. I didn't know how my bow was off, but that was my fault because I was like, all right, I just throw these broadheads on my bow. I've been shooting great, so I threw these broadheads on, and they were just a little bit different than the fill points. You know, I think the weight distribution being a little bit more out because it's bigger than the fill point. I think that was the issue. It was just dropping a little bit earlier. So
yeah,
but that was my fault because I didn't shoot with them before the hunt. So.
Right.
Yep.
So what got you into hunting, Chewy?
Well, I got my first deer at 16. And then after that was it. I never went hunting again.
Oh,
no, I never went hunting again. I would just go shoot rabbits or whatever, coyotes, and then it was when I was working in the oil field.
Okay.
When I get it on days off, I would come over here coyote hunt. I had extra money to buy guns, so then that's when I started getting more into hunting. I guess getting more into the outdoors, trying to get more into it. And the last 6 years, I got my son. I went hunting twice by myself, and then I got my son into it. So now we go, and that's how it started. You know. So
did you kill on those hunts that you went by yourself?
No.
Did you see anything?
We saw. We've seen more does.
Yeah.
But the one over there in 21 by Animas, we saw a group of about 6 bucks, huge. And we want to go back over there, but I haven't drawn over there.
Yeah, that's a tough area to draw.
Yeah,
I think they just opened up the little hatchets or big hatchets. I was untouched for a long time, and now they opened it.
Yeah.
But yeah, down there in the Boot Hill, man, I've seen the one buck that I did shoot at was in Flying Dubs, and that dude was a monster, man. At 500 yards, bro, you could tell he was a buck with no binos.
Wow.
Like, he was a monster, and I just missed him. But yeah, there's some big deer down there.
Yeah,
there is.
Yeah, I've never been down there.
Yeah.
So you said you killed your first deer at 16, and then you didn't go back for a couple of years, and I'm kind of curious, you know, because we talk about like not killing a deer being not counting or not being successful, you know, and it almost feels like it was backwards for you. Like you killed a deer at 16, but then you didn't go back.
Yeah.
What was the reason behind that?
My dad took me, and then after that, we just never went. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was, I was 16. Yeah. We just never went anymore.
Yeah.
And, I started, you know, coyote hunting here and there, taking the kids out shooting rabbits. And then, actually a couple of years ago, I had a hunt in Oklahoma. And I got my whitetail there.
Yeah.
But that one was a whole different type of hunt. Yeah. We were in a blind. Well, we weren't in a blind. We were in between 2 bushes, and they're able to feed them there. But I mean, the odds were with us, but then the weather just got horrible.
Yeah.
It was fog. It was, but
there's no such thing as an easy hunt.
No.
I mean,
sometimes they get lucky, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's if you're really after it, man, that something always happens. Always, whether it be rain or the heat
I have a couple of
flat tire
coworkers, and well, not they're coworkers, but they're from out of state, and they pay big money to go on these guided hunts.
Mm-hmm.
And this last year they spent about $12,000 for a mule deer hunt. And they were like, "Oh yeah, man, it's almost a guarantee." Well, when they get up there, they got reined in, you know, and they were like, "Yeah, we couldn't get out there." And I'm like, "What do you mean you couldn't get out there?" "Well, the roads were too bad. The UTVs couldn't get out there." And I'm like, "Man, I would have walked." Nah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, holy shit, man. You know, but
yeah, it's different, man. You gotta want it, you know. And when you're paying, you know, if I was paying that much money, I'm coming home with something, you know, the neighbor's cow or something. Just kidding, just kidding.
Figure it out. We'll figure it out. What's one piece of equipment that you think you're gonna upgrade or you've been looking to upgrade?
Definitely binos and a rangefinder.
Yeah,
because I know when my rangefinder differs from yours.
Yeah.
Whether it's a quality or whatever, but I feel like it's not as accurate as say your guys's. So I feel like I do rangefinder. My bow, I don't see a reason to upgrade right now.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you have a hell of a setup, bro.
Yeah.
That bow you have is the same bow I used to kill my first buck with that archery.
Yeah, and everything. I mean, everything's good. I changed out the springs because I messed it up. I was leaning it up against a sharp piece of wood, causing it to start splitting. So I had to change out the strings. But besides that, I mean,
Where'd you get your strings from?
Here at the shop.
At the shop.
What are they? Gas?
No,
they're
Rogue, right?
Rogue.
There's Rogue, and then if it was recent, it's probably Center Punch.
Center Punch.
With, Andrew up in northern New Mexico.
Okay, yeah, I think it was Center Punch. Yeah.
Yeah, that's some good dudes.
You have Center Punch on yours, right?
Yeah, I've been shooting Center Punch for 3 years.
Oh, really?
3 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're good. I've only bought 2 sets of strings in 3 years. And they're pretty good. I don't know if it was a string issue or a bow manufacturer issue, but on my Levitate, I got 80-pound limb. I didn't max it out, and when I went to, it wouldn't go to 80 pounds, and I had already changed the strings, so I wasn't sure if it was because of the strings or if they were just not 80 pounds when I got them. So that's one thing that I kind of was like curious about a little bit.
I think that's honestly a PSC thing, man.
I think so.
Because I had when I had the drive, I want to say it's the XL. It's supposed to be at 70 pounds, and I could never get it up there. I think the highest was like 64 maxed out. Yeah. Same thing. I changed strings. Yeah. At the time, I was shooting for 60X, so I put some new strings on it, and I got like maybe a pound more, but it just wouldn't go to 70. So, even like your new, well, it's not 80 pounds yet, huh? 70.
No, 70.
That's the weird thing, though. It's 70 pounds.
It's 70 pounds,
74. Yeah. So
so that was crazy too, but it was the same situation. So I rarely shoot the strings that come with. I usually order strings before I get the bow, and then I'll switch them out and then use the ones they came with as a backup. So the same scenario. I got this bow from a different shop in Tucson at a Stick Sniper Archery, which they were great. They took their time, got me all set up. But I got the bow, got the strings installed in Las Cruces because I hadn't had them yet, and they were kind of freaking out, and I kind of saw them kind of freaking out a little bit, and I got curious, and I walked to the desk, and I'm like, "Hey man, is everything good?" Because they were sitting there measuring, axle to axle and brace height and everything, and they're like, "Hey man, your bow's maxed out, but it's 74 pounds," and I was like, "Oh shit, perfect." And he was like, I was like, "Yeah man, I wanted it closer to 80, and my old setup was 76 pounds, so this is only 2 pounds off." So that's perfect, man. I can make that work. And he was like, "Oh, okay." So
you think their worry was that it was over pound?
Yeah. They were a little freaked out
to make sure that they put them on right.
Yeah, so they were freaked out a little bit. They were measuring stuff. They were looking at the way the strings were on the cams and everything. All the cables were on it correctly. But yeah, you could tell they were sweating a little bit.
Yeah. No, definitely, man. That's a scary thing to when shit just seems wrong, it's like and the bow like that, man, like with all that compression, it's like it's kind of sketchy right now. You shoot it.
Right. Yeah, and that's one thing that I haven't gotten into yet. Do you feel like, Chewy, like you're gonna get into like kind of doing your own work on your own on equipment? Or you think you're gonna take it to the shop still?
No, I think I'll just take it to the shop. I think I'll feel more confident about the bow performing or not gonna blow up in my face about that. Like, I don't mind working on guns. I don't know why, but I like doing that. Maybe in the future, because right now I'm still trying to learn how the cams work, how the limbs work, how it all works together. So maybe in time I'll be taking them apart too.
Yeah, it's definitely an investment I haven't made yet. Josh was the first one to kind of jump into that arena, and man, he's came a long way, and it's cool to see the progress. You know, so it's pretty cool. It still scares the crap out of me. You know, I'm like, oh man, what if this doesn't work, and what if I punch myself in the face, or what if it blows up? And I'm like, shit. So props to you for that.
They're pretty basic, man, when it comes to a lot of stuff. I think the hardest one I've worked on was a Matthews, and it's because you got to take it all apart to be able to put the string on and stuff, because of the way it's set up, right? So I'm not sure about the newer style Matthews and stuff, but like PSCs are super easy to work on. This Elite that I have is super easy to work on, because it's the cabling the way it's set up. I don't have to take anything apart really. That's one mistake I did make with one of the bows, right? I mean, I took the limbs off and stuff, and I had the old limbs for it, but I didn't know that some limbs were stiffer than others. You know, you got to match them and stuff.
Yeah.
And, they have numbers on them and stuff, and it had a catastrophic failure on that one. But I don't know if it was something that I did wrong, and I still don't know because I still not familiar with how those limbs work.
Yeah.
Or if the previous owner had done something to it before the owner that I was working on it for got it, and it came apart in my hand. It shot good for 2-3 shots, and that fourth one, it came undone, man. Everything.
That's crazy.
Cams, everything. The only thing that was left in my hand was the riser. And
is that kind of similar to like the way guns work? Like is there like a Matthews to the gun world? Like, is there like Glock versus Ruger?
Oh yeah,
like,
every company is like that, and you know, if you're working on it, and if you don't tighten up the barrel nut like on an AR or something, it might fire, or you know, you don't have the right gas system or something, and it could, you know, like a 5.56 and 300 blackout, you could put a 300 blackout in it, it'll fire, but it's gonna blow your whole gun up. So you got to be careful with that.
So it fits, but it's not the right velocity for it.
No, the casing's the same on a 300 blackout. It'll chamber, but that projectile won't go nowhere. It's gonna get stuck in your barrel, and then it's gonna blow your barrel up.
Shit.
Yeah,
that's crazy. What would you guys think the Matthews of the gun world would be?
I'm not even that familiar with that kind of stuff, man. That's Chewy's realm right there.
Well, see, that's I'm on the opposite version of it. Like,
you're the gun guy.
Yeah, I'm the gun guy getting into the bow.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure as far as Matthews or PSC or who's you know.
So with Matthews, man, they're pretty well, from my experience, they're pretty complex you know, tools. So like the cam system, for example, I don't know if it's still the same. It's the one I worked on was like a Z7. It's an old style bow. I put some strings on for my little brother. But for those ones, like if you want to change your draw length, you gotta change the mod. You know what I mean? It's not as easy as unscrewing it and moving it and putting a screw back in it. So a little bit more more stout, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, they're a little bit more hefty on the as far as parts go and stuff.
Yeah.
You have to actually change things out to be able to change any kind of adjustments on it. You got to put new parts in. I don't know if they're still like that or not, though. I haven't seen a Matthews that close. I mean, you had the VR1, something
I didn't
like
even
that,
shoot it.
VXR. But you didn't look at the cam system and all that stuff?
Well, I did. So the only thing I did was, and I was just scheming. Like I got this bow on a trade, and I knew we were going to tack. So I got it with the intention of, I'm going to set this bow up and I'm going to double my money when I go to tack. I'm going to sell it. because it's like the archery world is the same as the gun world. Like you have the Glock fanboys or the 6.5 Creedmoor,
right,
fanboys, and it doesn't matter. Like they want it, And so I was in my head, I was thinking, if I can find a couple of guys that have the Matthew sticker on the back of their truck, I'm in. So yeah, and I was curious a little bit, and I went to, where were we? Hit or miss, and they happened to have the mods for my drawing, so I bought them, and then what happened? I just got busy and never got around to shooting it. But I set it all up. I threw my old Excel landslide on it, and UV scope on it, and then my old Shrewd stabilizer bars, and I sold it. It took me like 15 minutes. 15 minutes to sell that bow.
I was dude. We were just got there parked, right? And then this, I think it was a Jeep.
Pulled up.
Was it a truck? Was it a Toyota?
No, it was
I don't remember correctly then.
It was
somebody came and parked next to us.
Yeah, it was like a Ford F-250 with like the Matthew sticker on the back windshield, and I'm like, oh, perfect.
Yeah, so he gets out and he's like, hey, what's up, guys? Fucking turns into a salesman. And I'm trying to get my shit together, right? I'm unloading the cases, I'm getting my bow out and everything, and the dude's like, oh, I'll let you know. And he's super interested in it. And then that same guy, we ended up running into him. He's like, I'll buy it. Like, yeah.
Josh, come over here. I don't know how this Venmo shit works.
Yeah, fucking Zelle.
Yeah, Zelle.
So we got that all figured out and stuff, and it was a good turnout, man. It's a great.
Yeah.
He set a goal and he fucking did it.
Yeah. That's one thing, and it was just finding that right crowd to sell it. But I kind of feel like every sport or every equipment has like their following. Who would you guys think the Matthews would fall in as like the gun people? You think they're more like Glock people, or you think they're more like what's the SIG?
Like as far as like price wise go, man, it's probably like Gunworks. Yeah.
I think like the stereotype.
They're high end and they're quality.
Yeah.
So you got to pay the price for them. Gunworks is not cheap, but damn, are they accurate?
Yeah. What about PSE? Like a Taurus?
Nah, I wouldn't put them down there with Taurus.
Hey man, what's wrong with Taurus?
Nah, I've just never been a fan of Taurus, man. Shit, I put them down there with. No, I'm just
as long as it's not High Point.
High Point. Yeah, that's a Cabela's bow right there.
That's a Cabela's.
High Point. No, just kidding.
Bear.
Kidding. I'm only kidding. No, I think like PSC would probably be like a Bergara. They're good. They're fair in price and they're accurate. They're easy to work on. But yeah, man. I mean, he can. So you're talking about bows versus rifles, and there's so many damn different rifles, man. Different models. It's kind of not comparable.
Right.
Because AR-15 is not an AR-15. You have the Smith & Wesson, you have Mossberg, you got.
And then you got different calibers. You got different. Everybody makes them, and you could build your own.
Yeah. So like I have a Mossberg AR, and that doesn't fit any kind of outside equipment on the damn thing. It's like like Apple. You can only use Mossberg parts for that thing.
Right.
Because the bottom's different, and the top is different too. But you can't mix and match like the normal like built AR where you can like. I know you're into this shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you can build so many damn different guns with different uppers and different lowers and triggers and all this stuff, right? See. So yeah, it's different because you can't throw. Well, I mean, I'm not saying you can't do it because I know some people that like to tinker that way, but they take a cam off an old bow and they put on a new bow and new string stops and stuff. And there's a guy. Wasn't that Jason? Jason did that with his bows. No, his PSCs. He was changing like Frankenstein parts.
He talked about changing the cams from one bow to the next, and he told me which ones.
Yeah,
but I don't remember. But I know he said that they fit, and you wouldn't think they would fit, but they fit, and he was super excited about it.
Yeah,
I want to say it was the Expedite. cams on something else.
So if you're brave enough, you know what I mean, you can do that kind of stuff.
And the cams are just to change your draw length, or is it the poundage too? Or?
No, the cams, they're, if you look at different models, like PSE, for example, like if you look at the ZF cam versus the Evo cam versus, what other cam did they have at the time? Even the Evolve cam system, right? Their shape is different, you know, depending on the, I guess it has something to do with the draw cycle of the bow. So you have that, like with my 75-pound let-off bow was the drive R. The cams were almost, they're almost like perfectly round, if I remember correctly. And the draw length, I mean, the draw was like, there was no dump into the background, man. It was like, there's barely anything, you know. But if you let off, right, 75%, if you relax just a little bit, that fucking thing wanted to go.
Yeah.
As opposed to something with like, let's say the Evo, the dump onto the back wall is a lot shorter, you know. So you can probably, I don't know, I'm pretty sure you've experienced this where you're trying to let down, and then you can't find it, and all of a sudden it takes off.
Yeah.
I think that the shape of the cam has a lot to do with that.
Yeah. So the best way I could explain it is if you were to coil up a piece of rope onto something round, and then you go to let down that rope, it comes off pretty smooth because it's making contact to that circle the whole time. But if it was like a half circle, it doesn't make contact. So once it gets to that half circle, it'll just let down. So the more oval or elongated that half circle is, or that circle is, the faster that bow gets. But when you go to draw it back and you ease off of it, it's going to want to come forward. And I think the Evolve cam was like one of the better rounded cams.
Yeah, because I mean, you have like the no cam Matthews, you know, you have the solo cams, you have dual cams. They're different. Different companies do different shit. I don't know if PSC ever had a solo cam or, you know, one cam bow. They might have way back in the day.
Yeah, they only have the solo cam, dual cam, and then the Cam Hanes.
Cam Hanes.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
Yeah, throw that one in there.
Yeah.
Dad jokes. But yeah, as far as equipment, we've covered, you know, you're talking about rangefinder, binoculars, release. You've gotten into the thumb button. Would you ever consider going to a hinge?
Right now, no.
Yeah.
Baby steps, man. Baby steps.
Come on, I did try yours, that one, and I just barely even, and I didn't even know how to control it. It just went off right away. And I already punched myself with the thumb button. And that wasn't fun. Good. So right now, I
can
think
only take so many bloody noses. I just got that hinge released. I'll send you that picture of that one. I haven't used it yet. I haven't had time to use it. Been busy, but hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to punch myself in the face with it.
Yeah, because I don't get I kind of get the concept behind it, but it's just, you know, I try watching you while you do it, and I like that one that you're telling me that has a brake on it. Yeah,
so there's the tension.
Or is that?
Yeah, it's the same concept, but it has like essentially like a safety, and there's a bunch of different manufacturers that make them. Stan makes a really good one. I know Carter makes another really good one. Which Carter is basically the same release as the knock-on stuff. Just the knock-on stuff's a lot cooler, you know. So if you're gonna get one, I would get one from knock-on because it's like way more cooler. You get aura points.
Yeah, that's what I got. But again, it came from you, so
yeah. You gave up your John Dudley custom knock-on shit, man.
Yeah.
You all right? Need a hug?
I just never gave it back.
Yeah. No.
He cries himself to sleep over.
Yeah, I thought so. Sometimes I send him a picture at night of me holding it.
Yeah. No, I talked to my buddy John Dudley, and he's gonna get me a new one. So we're good. But the tension ones, what I like about those is that it gives you the confidence because you're able to hold that safety and then get to full draw. And then once you let go of that safety, you can start pulling through your shot, and eventually it's gonna break free. And you can set that. I think you can set those up a little bit more accurately to your draw weight, using a scale, so you can kind of see how much poundage it takes for that to come off. And there's a chart that you can follow depending on your let off, and your draw weight. So I would highly recommend one of those. Those are pretty good. I've been looking at the silverback, but I got this the Hinge one. I was always curious about trying that one because every time you order something from UltraView, whether it be a T-shirt or a hat, they always send you the 3D printed.
You know what?
Yeah,
I didn't get one.
You didn't get one?
You know what? But I didn't order it from UltraView.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Light bulb. I got it from Shields.
Yeah, I have like 15 of those fuckers, but they always send you a 3D printed release, and you can feel it like how it fits in your hand. And
Lancaster will do the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
if you order one.
And I was like, holy shit! Like I wanted to try one for a while, and I ended up finding one in Canada, and I got it, and I've been messing with it little by little, but still using the Too Smooth. John Dudley's like, hey man, keep using that one. We'll talk about getting you a new one later. I said, all right.
Yeah.
So
what do you do for him?
Huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm new to this. So who is this? Like,
John Dudley.
Why is there a poster of him in your room?
Yeah. we don't talk about that. No, John Dudley was like basically the, the god of archery, I guess. No, I'm kidding. No, when we first got into this archery stuff, he has what's called the School of Knock, and if you can make it through his monotone voice, because he doesn't have any expressions, but he's really knowledgeable about what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to do it. So I learned a lot through him, watching YouTube videos and going through that School of Knock, and it really helped. And then he just called me one day and he was like, hey man, how's it going? No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so I started following him and kind of going through his School of Knock, and then when COVID hit, Mr. Donald Trump sent us couple $100, so I went ahead and ordered the Bits and Burger, a new release, some arrows, and I got it all through Knock On, and then just been a fan ever since. So
yeah, dude, he got knocked on everything, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, chones, the bandana, floor mats,
everything.
Yeah.
I don't think he has a piece of equipment without a freaking knocked on sticker on it.
Yeah.
It's funny because we went to Attack last year, right? And they had a knocked on booth, and he's like, "Yeah, I got that. I got that. I got that."
He goes, "What are you guys looking for?" I was like,
something I don't have.
I have all of this stuff already.
Yeah. This looks just like my bedroom.
yeah. Pretty close. Mine had a little more stuff in it, but
you have more inventory.
Yeah, I had more inventory, definitely. No, I definitely like their equipment. And then a lot of it too is he did a really good job, and now that everyone's doing a better job at it now. But before when he would have something new, he would do a YouTube video on it, and he would kind of walk you through how it worked and why he was doing it that way or whatever. And I think a lot of people took a chapter out of that book and started doing more of that.
Yeah.
So you didn't really
I can
see
definitely see that because he got a contract with PSE, right? So he's making his own bows with his own label and stuff. PSE bows, and he's got the Levitate. And what's the last one?
He did there was a Knock 33.
Okay.
So yeah.
So, and he explained what he changed on these bows, right? Wider limb pockets, smoother draw cycles and things like that. And I'm not 100% sure, but I know my Elite, I have an Elite Omnia. The limbs are wide, man. So on my old PSE, I had is it AAE? What is it? The kickstands we used to use.
Yeah.
The AAE. Okay, so that kickstand that I had for my old PSE doesn't fit my Omnia because it's too short. So the pockets are a lot wider. And when the Omnia came out, I think they had a lot of technology that new stuff like adjustments and stuff. But I think that wide limb pocket, somebody was paying attention. But yeah, he changed a lot of stuff in there, and he's a big name in the archery community and stuff. And I don't think he's as big as he was at that point in time. But I don't see as many videos as he used to put, But I do see some where he goes like, for example, you don't want to knock on course at Attack. there's a good chance that he's on that course, and you get to meet him, talk to him, and shoot an arrow with him, and things like that. So pretty personable dude. But like he said, I can't watch the full video because it's like his voice, dude. It's
like listening to like the most boring teacher giving you a lecture about freaking history from the 1930s. And it is his voice.
But he's clear and to the point, you know what I mean? So it's just like
he gives very good direction, and he's a very good coach and a very good teacher. It's just but that's kind of the teacher in him, that has that voice. But yeah, I've watched him multiple times on the knock-on course talk people through 100-yard shot, and they'll make it. It's like, holy shit.
He's good at what he does, man, and he deserves everything that he's worked for and stuff. But yeah, it's the voice for me. I said, good teacher. I can watch his videos in sections. But yeah, it's one of those, like, his voice doesn't go excited or sad. It's just the same tone all the time. It's like that Clear Eyes dude.
There you go. There you go.
But cool dude though.
If I'm feeling down or something, I put on one of his videos. Like it's like a good night story. You know? Then I fall asleep.
While you're watching his poster.
I'm watching, pretending he's talking to me.
So what you want to do? Close your eyes.
That's one thing that we haven't had a chance to shoot yet, is a knock-on course. So and they don't have one in Colorado this year. So
well, according to that list, they didn't have it. So hopefully they have the boost though. Those dudes seem like pretty cool dudes.
What's your max yardage right now, Chewy? What are you maxing out at?
Well, that I shot, I think it was like 100 and
no shit.
10. What was the long range?
Oh yeah, long range, it goes up to 110.
Yeah. And I think I got something like that 110, but as far as, being accurate, I would say 60
accurate, but the groups
60? decent groups. I wouldn't say I'm touching arrows at 60, but I feel like I could get points. Or
Cam Haynes had a video on that way back in the day, where it's like the rule of thumb. Well, his rule of thumb is let's say 20 yards, 2-inch group. So for every 10 yards, an inch more. So at 60 yards, a 6-inch group is pretty good. Shit, if you can get them tighter than that, it's amazing. But it's tougher, man. The farther you go out, the tougher it is to group those arrows, because you got a lot more factors. Wind drift, freaking the accuracy goes down a little bit because it's farther and you have to aim a little bit stronger through the shot and everything. It's a lot of factors, but if you could do it, that's pretty good, pretty badass.
I need to put that side tape on so I could use my slider so we could do long range again.
Yeah, definitely.
What side are you running?
It's a black gold.
Oh, okay. The 5-pin slider?
It's a 5-pin.
5-pin Ascend?
Ascend. That's what I'm looking at next. Multi-pin with the slider.
Yeah.
And I think those things, man, they're going to be perfect for hunting. I've shot 7-pin. I've shot a single pin, and the multi-pin is the best. You don't have to let down and move your sight and everything. You can adjust on the fly. So it's a lot better, I think. And then for longer ranges, of course, you can dial down.
And so for hunting, do you have a max that you would take a shot?
It comes down to how you feel about it, man. I mean, because there's some people out there that'll shoot at 100 yards, and if they're comfortable doing that. It's whatever you're comfortable at, because same thing with the rifle. You can probably hit an elk or a deer at 1,200 yards, but
is it gonna knock it down, or
can you morally do that?
Right.
It comes down to your ethics. Do you feel in your heart that you're comfortable with making that shot that 100% you're gonna hit it? Because anything can go wrong, right? You can misjudge it, hit them back, wound it, that kind of thing. It's whatever you feel it's comfortable. For most people, I would say 50 yards is probably going to be right around their comfort zone. But I've taken shots at 92, and I'm comfortable shooting that far. But
the elements play a big factor in that.
That's a huge factor. So that's the farthest shot I've taken on a mule deer was 92 yards, and I just missed him. Of course, at that freaking distance, he heard that shit coming a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he moved right when I pulled the shot off. He moved a little bit, and he went up, and yeah, I hit exactly where I was aiming at. And if he had still been there, I would have nailed him. But those are the factors too. Like we talked about shot placement on the last episode, and your shot placement can be perfect, but you cannot predict what the animal's going to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if he stays there, the shot goes through and it's perfect, and he goes down, or if he moves an inch, it's one of those things. But it's whatever you feel comfortable at. If you're shooting at 100 yards consistently, and I would say anything up to that point, you should be good. Yeah.
Another thing too that you got to remember too, when you're at that distance at 75 and out to even to 110, is the flight of the arrow is going to change. Depending on the spine of the arrow and the weight of the arrow, you might have a bigger arc. So if you're thinking, hey, this animal's 90 yards, you range it, I can hit that, but you don't anticipate the flight of the arrow. I've had, and it hasn't been on a live animal, but in 3D, where intact, branches, before it gets to the target, you don't realize that the arc's gonna hit that branch, and then bam, then you're out an arrow. Also, to the depth perception at that distance, it's harder for you to gauge if they're in front of that tree or behind that tree. You're thinking he's in front of that tree when in reality he's behind that tree, and then you smack the branches or the tree. That's one thing that's definitely made me think twice about taking the shot at a farther distance. But yeah, I think I'm pretty comfortable at 60, 70, but I have taken shots at 95. But yeah, like Josh was saying, you think you're far away, but that's, they hear that string slap that garden, and it's like they move or they fidget.
Yeah. The first buck I shot at, man, is a nice little 6-point, very first time out, and I had him at 60 yards, and fucking everything was perfect, man. I drew the bow back. He never knew I was there, and at the last second, when I shot at him, he picked his head up and he fucking ducked, and that arrow went right over him, and yeah, it sucks, but it's very. Even an elk, man, an elk will duck your arrow. I've seen plenty of videos of that happening. So it's just, like I said, you cannot predict what the animal.
And can you anticipate or aim for that? But if they don't, then you miss completely.
Yeah, you'll see videos on. That's what I said. You can't really. You can anticipate it, like whitetails, for example, right? You see a lot of videos of people shooting whitetails from a tree stand, and they all aim low because they like to duck, and then move out. And no, they shoot with that anticipation, and that fucker doesn't do nothing. He just stands there, and that arrow goes right underneath them, So it's 50-50, I would think. When I shot my buck, even though he was a young buck, young 6-point this year, he tried to run away. Right after I shot, he tried to run away, and he didn't move fast enough, and I was able to get him. But that was the first one that I shot at and hit where they just planned out perfectly, right? The first one that I actually shot at, he ducked the arrow, and then the first one I killed, he never knew I was there. Then it was windy, and he didn't know anything until that arrow smacked him. And then this one, it was the first one that I saw actually duck away to try to get away from it, and I still got him. So I didn't anticipate that happening. He was broadside. Perfect shot, just like 3D, he was just standing there. I was like, all right, here we go, and let that shot ring, and then he tried to duck it, but at 55 yards, so it just depends on the animal, dude. I mean, you can, but if they don't, so I try to shoot probably a little low on the heart, so if they do duck, you still got lungs. You know what I mean? If they don't duck, you got the bottom of the heart. So it also depends on how far away you are too.
Right.
But But yeah, man, there's a lot of different things that you can plan for that don't happen, and then things you don't plan for teach you a lesson.
Yeah,
so it's definitely fun both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. What about we talked a little bit about the 3D stuff. Are you planning on doing any like 'cause right now you're staying local, right?
Yeah.
You're just doing the bow shoots here. Are you planning on doing anything outside of here? I know there's ASA's over already, but
I think their championship is next month.
Yeah,
I'll look that up real quick.
Yeah, for sure. I want to start going further out.
Yeah.
Just because I want to stick around here and then.
Yeah, ready to get you to TAC next year.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
I want to do the what is it, Skates Canyon?
Skates.
Yeah,
that'd
Skates.
be a fun one.
That's next month. Yep.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
So hopefully I could do that one. And I've been out to Fort Bayard with Mangus.
Mm-hmm.
That one was fun.
Yeah,
but I know you told me that you zigzag, and I didn't really get the concept until I was like 6 targets in. And I'm like, oh, I got to follow these. And
we've been doing it for years, and this dude still leaves his bow.
I'll still leave my bow. And
that's the way we operate, right? Here in Deming, you leave your bow at the stake, you come back, and you grab your bow, go on to the next target. And he'd always do that, dude. Like, hey, man, that's your bow. Like, damn it. And
yeah. So I started figuring it out, and then. Yeah. But that one was a fun course because it was, you have more uphill, downhill shots. And
it's better scenery. It's it's a different terrain, so it's pretty cool because it's a little more kind of what you see when you go hunt.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
kind of cool to see. What about how often do you shoot when you get home? Do you feel like there's days where you just like, nah, I'm not gonna do this, or do you feel like the opposite? Because I know, like, when I have like a rough day, I'm like, I'm gonna grab my bow and shoot a couple arrows, kind of relax.
Yeah, that's how I like the last couple of weeks when it's really windy. When I get off work, I won't shoot.
Yeah,
and it bugs me that I'm not shooting. I'm like, man, I should go shoot.
Yeah,
and then I've shot in the wind where you're never gonna predict the weather, whether it's 3D or hunting. So like you gotta practice in the wind and all that. But
that's a good rule of thumb too, man. I used to get people talking about, like, why do you shoot with your quiver on? It's like, well, because my quiver's on when I hunt.
Yeah.
Even when I was shooting paper, I'd have a full quiver of arrows. And yeah, man, it's just why do you do that? It's more weight. It's like, yeah, but I want to get used to my bow.
Right.
So I'm gonna shoot it the way I hunt with it. And I never planned on doing competition archery. This fucking guy got me into it. But yeah, man, I was always shooting with my quiver on. I never had a hip quiver. Everything was on the bow exactly how I took it out in the mountains. And I think that's one of the reasons why I was, good at that point, is because I was shooting a lot and I was shooting exactly what I was carrying,
So do you think there's I don't shoot with the quiver and I have it, and I've just been thinking if I should put it on just in case, say next year I get a hunt, or is there say 6 months that you should shoot with it on or off, or
I mean, you're shooting. There's definitely going to be an imbalance, right, with your equipment. I would say it would be wise to shoot the way you're going to hunt, right? Or, a lot of times if you're on a spot and stock, I'll take my quiver off. You know what I mean? I'll drag it along with me, but I'll take it off, and for a number of different reasons. One, it's less weight carrying with the bow, right? It's more work carrying the quiver. But if it's windy, it's less wind resistance. Yeah. So I'll move that quiver off, and then now I'm more steady in the wind. So there's a lot of different variables to that, but I would definitely get comfortable shooting with it on. Because it does change your weight, and then you'll notice too. Do you have a back bar on your?
No, I don't have a back bar.
So you'll notice that with the quiver, your bow's gonna want to tilt a little bit to the right because of the extra weight. Now, there's little tricks you can do to alter that, and we can get into that if you'd like. But some inexpensive things where you don't need a back bar, you just need to offset your front bar, and that's one thing that I was doing it. I don't remember doing it, but I was trying different things,
and I've done it both ways. He's got a new front bracket for your stabilizer that kind of offsets it to one side. But I did it both ways, and for years I've been running no quiver, and what it comes down to for me is getting that bubble to sit level. So I'll draw my bow back with my eyes closed and open them and kind of see where my bubble's at, and then I'll adjust my back bar either in or out to kind of get it to where I could draw back and I'm automatically level. And then when I get ready to hunt, I'll throw the quiver on and do the same thing and make an adjustment to the back bar to kind of do that. But this year, I'm kind of in the same train of thought as Josh, and I'm gonna run the quiver the full year, and then that way I'm not making any adjustments to my bow when I go ready to hunt, which is different than I've done previously. When we go out to the 3D shoots, I would take off my quiver because I'm not gonna need it. I usually have the hip quiver or a couple layers on my backpack. So this year's a little bit different for me. I want to be trying that just to eliminate having to make those adjustments late in the season, because that's one thing that I think I was off a little bit last year because I was making all these adjustments right before my hunt, and I had been shooting my bow 3D, month after month, and then in the backyard, stuff like that. But then when it came down to hunt with it, throwing the quiver on, switching over to broadheads, having to make a new sight tape, all that stuff, it was just more variables to mess with.
Yeah, because for me, the ultimate goal for the bow will be a hunting setup and then 3D. But how right now I'm a bow hunter, if I put a side quiver or a side stabilizer, would that throw me into the open class?
No. Especially because, like, on a bow hunter setup, man, your back bar is probably going to be no bigger than 8 inches.
Right.
Your front bar, according to our rules, you can't go over 12 in the front. Anything over 12 in the front will put you into the open class.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm not competing anymore, because I was using my short stabilizers to compete in the bow hunter, but I got these real nice cutter stabilizers that I was like, you know what, I gotta hunt with these, I gotta use these,
right?
And I can't use them according to my own rules. I'd be cheating, right? And so I even hold myself to that, take accountability for that. So I'm not posting my scores as a competitor. So I'm using my open class stuff, and I took myself out of the running. But yeah, we do have rules for that. But adding a back bar is not gonna, because like you said, bow hunters nowadays you probably run, you see like some setups with 15-inch bars in the front, but standard bow hunter setup on average they don't have more than 12.
Right.
My first bow hunter setup, it was called Unlimited at that time, right?
Yeah.
Multi-pin sight, and then it was just the front bar, just whatever PSC sells with their equipment. It was just a basic PSC setup, and
I think it was like a fuse or something. No,
I don't remember. I still have one, but I don't remember what it was called. I think it's called VibraCheck or something
there
like
you
that.
Go.
And just a simple ready to shoot bow, man. That's all I was using. But yeah, according to our rules and the way we operate, no bigger than 12 inches in the front from the actual riser to the end of the weights. So the slider sights usually put you into the open class because it's a movable sight. But with us, we only shoot 50 yards, so you're not going to be moving that damn thing. Right. And of course, we shoot with you. We know you're not moving it.
Yeah.
If the people that you're with are comfortable with you shooting that, then we don't have to lock it down. It's fine.
Yeah, I think there's something in the rule book that you can zip tie it or something.
Yeah, it's to our discretion. I know that the ASA they'll zip tie it, and so that make sure that you don't.
They'll give you like a specific zip tie, and then they'll know if you tampered with it or if you took it off.
Oh, okay.
But I think just be comfortable with what you shoot, and like he was saying, having to switch back and forth can definitely cause some issues, whether you're in competition or you're out in the field. So it's honestly better if you just kind of use the same setup for both. If that puts you in the open, it puts you in the open. If it puts you in bow hunter, then it puts you in bow hunter. But I think it's kind of crazy because it's evolved over time, right? Like what we would consider an open setup is now almost everyone's hunting setup.
Yeah, because I mean, when we all started this, man, there was no. If you have a movable sight, more than likely it's going to be a single pin. You know, the multi-pin sliders weren't a thing yet until like 3 years ago.
Yeah. That'd be something to see, something cool to see ASA revise.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they I think they did, man. They created the Hunter 45. You know, it's more of a no restrictions, shoot what you bring type of class. But
did you happen to see the results for that bow shoot that Luke was having?
No, not yet. Today's the last day. Let's see. Let's chime in with Luke.
Because I know for my setup, the only thing that I essentially change when I go to hunt, besides the broadhead, is my scope. So I'll take off my scope, and then I'll run no lens, and then I won't run a clarifier through my peep. And even that's a big change for me because I'm used to being able to see a lot more with that lens on it. So it's a little bit different. So it does typically take me some time to get used to that, and I'll start to not run it probably after July. I'll stop running that lens just to kind of acclimate to not running one. But yeah, to me it's kind of crazy because when we first started doing this, the setups that you had back then, single pin sight, clarifier, magnifier on the lens, and super long stabilizer bars, and now almost everyone's hunting with either a 12 or a 15-inch bar in the front, and then an 8 or even a 10 back bar. So it's not unheard of to see, some of these people hunting with a longer stabilizer.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I got a 15 up front now, and I hunted with it, man. I mean, I took my muley with that same setup.
Do you think it got in the way at all, or?
No, not at all.
Well, I guess it depends on the terrain too that you're hunting in.
Yeah, so, and we're in some pretty rough shit there where we hunt, but a lot of rock and stuff. But yeah, man, I mean, I only did one. Well, actually, I did 2 spot and stocks, but it never got in the way. You know, even on the steep stuff, I mean, it might have hit a couple times.
Yeah.
Didn't off balance myself, but it wasn't a big deal. I mean, anything longer than 15 is gonna cause some issues. I think especially if you're spawn stocking, you're moving your bow. What's cool about the cutter stabilizer setup that we have is that I can easily disconnect it, and it can become a handle if I needed it to. But yeah, it's easily. I mean, if I need to be a little bit more quiet, or if it's being an issue, I can actually take that off and then wait till I get where I need to go and then put it back on.
One thing that I've done when I kind of felt like it was getting in the way was switching from the back bar to just a single in the front, but using the back bar. So using I think it's an 8-inch up front, and then throwing the long one in my backpack, and just running that. It's just preference, I guess. Have you started messing with stabilizers at all yet, or?
Well, when I first got it, I ordered this cheap one off Amazon.
Yeah.
And I regret it now. I'm like, well, I should have, like you told me,
just wait,
get the one I want or get the right one. So now I'm looking at a different stabilizer to adjust the weight and, not just make it look cool.
What have you looked into? Like, what one do you have your eye on?
Offhand, I don't even know.
No.
I just want to see what I should run, and then I didn't want to go past because I have a 10-inch bar right now. And I thought the 10-inch was the longest I could do in bow hunter.
Yeah. So what you can do with that is like find the quick disconnect, and that'll probably put you out about another inch, and that'll give you the option to take it off too, and maybe it'll fit in the case a little bit better. If you travel that way.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you'd still be underneath our ruling.
The 12 inches.
Yeah. I think the quick disconnects, man, they do come in handy, and they're a great tool because you can easily put your stuff away. You don't have to unscrew the whole damn thing and put it in the case. So there's a lot of pros to it.
Is there a bar you guys recommend? A stabilizer?
Cutter stabilizers, man.
Cutter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those things
I've used Bee Stinger. I've used Shrewd. And then now I have we've had it for about a year now. Cutter stabilizers. Great guys, dude. They had that new Versa kickstand, and mine actually snapped while I was up there. And the dude's like, "No problem, man. Give me a new one." You know, because they were the prototypes still at that point. And I snapped it again. Well, I didn't snap it. It snapped again at our last shoot. And I hit him up, told him what happened. And he's like, "Yeah, we fixed the issue. Send me yours. I'll send you a new one." And yeah, he did, man. He sent me a brand new set, and it's been working great. But yeah, they're thin. They come in at 0.49 inches, and different colors. You know, like if you want black, mine match my bow. Yours are pretty close.
They were pretty close, and then it switched to the black.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, there's just great bars, man. I mean,
and that was another thing too. I bought the stabilizer bars. We went up the mountain, shot with them, and then halfway down, I'm like, I don't like this color. And walked over there, and he's like, "How'd you think, man?" I was like, I'm kind of regretting my color choice. He's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I should have got black." He's like, "Come over here," and then switched me out real quick. And you know, and that's the one thing. Everyone's got their preference and equipment. It's like guns, man. You can get the similar stuff or kind of close to what you have or what you want, but it's finding that right product that people stand behind, and the customer service is great. And getting to meet them guys, they're the owners of the company, and they were super fucking chill with us. And man, it made me want to keep buying their stuff. Definitely.
So I'm not to cut you off, man, but on Loot Shoot, the highest score I'm seeing is 671. I don't know what their IBO scores, but Jacob Pettit, Tim Gillingham is at 639. But some tough competitions, man. Mostly everybody's over 600.
Man, they're lucky I didn't go.
Yeah. I'm kind of sad I didn't go, man. I mean,
yeah, there's just a lot going on, man. So
yeah, dude. I mean, there's a lot. There was a thing that I saw. I guess they're shooting like at 104 yards on some of them. So,
damn.
Yeah, Tim Gillingham, man, is one of the OGs of the archery world. He runs with Gold Tip, and man, he's won championship after championship, and he's freaking knowledgeable, man. He's always tinkering with shit too, and trying. Like I think on one of his bows, his D loop's like 3 inches long. It's fucking huge, but I think it's on his it's on his recurve. No, it wasn't him.
That's the guy from High Desert.
No, or maybe I didn't see his video. It was Joel, dude.
Turner. Turner.
Yeah, he had a long D loop on.
Is there anybody that you're following on YouTube as far as with archery stuff, or have you haven't dove into that rabbit hole yet?
No, I haven't. I haven't really done any of that, following anybody yet.
No.
I do watch a lot of videos. It's just I guess I should start following, but I'm not.
So, is there any like one creator or that you're watch their videos like as a series?
No,
it's just random. Yeah. There's a lot of good information out there. Levi Morgan has, damn it, he's had a series, dude. I forget what it's called though. Levi Morgan's like a 10, 15-time world champ. So he's very knowledgeable when it comes to that kind of stuff and different arrow builds and why this does that and that kind of stuff. But he has, I forget what it's called, but he has a series on it, and kind of like the Knock on.
School
of Knock.
Yeah, I know you've sent me that link to him.
I sent it to everybody that talks to me. I'm like, hey, have you seen this?
Yeah. So him, Tim Gillingham has some. Even people like MFJJ, he's a great person to watch and get some knowledge on. Elk Stanton. Damn, I changed his name. Dan Stanton with Elk Shape. Good videos. Chris B has some good videos. Ty Jordan, like they all have. There's a lot of people. The list goes on and on and on. But
it just depends on what you want to get out of it.
Yeah, definitely. And then of course some people, like myself, can't explain things right. And there's some people that are just super detailed into why everything, how it works all together and stuff. But
yeah, there's definitely some creators out there that can get like can deep dive into stuff. Josh Bomar, that dude's crazy in the arrow builds. And then the Ranch Fairy, they two different roads of thinking there. And then you have like the boat disciples. They're more kind of fun. Let's go out there and make some videos and have some fun.
Fucking send it.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
See what happens. Just fucking send it.
Yeah, and you can tell their stuff. They're just being themselves, having a blast. They're not trying to educate anybody. They're just kind of bringing you along to their shenanigans and what they do, and it's fun to watch for sure. MFJJ is really somebody that, if you're getting into, tinkering with your bows and stuff, somebody definitely look into and watch him. Dan and them guys, they're more into like the hunting stuff and fitness and some of that stuff. So yeah, some good stuff.
Yeah, man, it's a very diverse community, but it's like you can't really go wrong any which road you take. We all have our own opinions, and I won't say shit, but there's certain people I don't look at their videos because it's like, damn, that's outrageous.
Right.
But it doesn't fit the way I shoot and the way I build my stuff. So teach their own. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But yeah, you just find out like what you like and what you're trying to do, and then of course you'll find your person to follow and that kind of stuff. Same thing with anything else.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Yeah, the guy from what's the guy's name from TikTok? Botalk.
Scott Evans.
Yeah, that dude's pretty good. He's pretty knowledgeable, and what I like about these new, because this is like there's no more like television, there's no more like TV shows that you can watch. It's more like YouTube, and well, at least for me, it's more like YouTube, TikTok, stuff like that. And what's cool about these guys is they're authentic about it. They're not gonna sell you something just to sell it to you. Like they'll sit there and they'll go over why they like it. And if you don't like it, then you don't like it.
Right.
It's what they use and what they're kind of putting their name behind.
And you can get reviews on pretty much anything, right? You're looking for stabilizers, you can find people that have them already that are doing reviews with them, why they're better, how they're built, that kind of stuff. Same thing with the bows. Did you see that? Was it Prime? Prime came out with they call it a mid-season release, right? So they have I'm sure you've seen it. They have the posts. Yeah. So they made it shorter. So now you can get them they went from a 34 to I think a 30. So my experience, man, with shorter bows, they're easier to move with. You know what I mean? I think that they shoot a lot better. They're faster. In my experience, right? And the longer bows, like the more common is like 34 inches now. Like yours is what, 35?
35, yeah. So that's considered
it's more common.
One.
It's longer, yeah. It's a longer bow. And the draw cycles are a lot easier as far as the smoothness, right? Because the bow I had, it was a 28 inch, and that thing was shooting, fast, dude. It was only 60 pounds. I was shooting like 52. I was shooting 280 feet per second. Being able to have a small bow like that with low poundage and be able to launch an FMJ, which is like 485 grains, 60 yards, like nothing, at 280 feet per second. That's pretty damn good to me. And my elite's supposed to be 360, I believe. I haven't seen it. I haven't even seen over 300. But yeah, there's different like drops throughout the year that you'll see. Especially like at the beginning of the year. If I'm not mistaken, it's the beginning of the year where everybody starts coming out with new bows, and PSE is not very vocal about their new stuff anymore. Ever since they sold the company from Pete Shepley, sold it to, I think what says the Outdoor Group, if I'm not mistaken. So there's a lot of changes in that kind of stuff. And then there's new manufacturers that come out with new bows. Like there's a new one that came out. It's called the Truth, and came out of nowhere. And it's supposed to be a pretty good bow, but like the people he's talking about, Scott Evans, they talk about those bows like Darton's not a very popular bow, to my knowledge, and so he's does all these reviews and stuff. MFJJ, the same thing. This bow is said to be this. We're gonna make sure that it's right. If it's 34 inches, it's supposed to be 34 inches. He'll measure it. and he'll tell you, nope, this is not it. My scale from 1 to 10, they advertise it as this, and it's actually this. So he'll give it a point system. So it's pretty cool to be able to see these non-biased, creators, and reviewing all these different products and stuff. So you get an actual opinion on it, not just
somebody's preference or
somebody that's sponsored by the company,
right.
and hyping them all up and stuff. And it's like, no, that's a shit product, but you're fucking making it think like it's the best. These guys are like true to the point. Like, I like these guys. This is trash. What I mean? They could have done better on this and that. So yeah, I think it's more real,
Yeah, it's definitely evolved. And one of the things that's cool about it is, because every bow that you buy has a label and it tells you what it's supposed to be or what they're saying it is. And these guys are testing it and telling you no.
Yeah.
So there's nothing like getting that raw feedback before you go out and spend, thousands of dollars on this new bow that's supposed to be shooting 350 feet per second. And then you get out of the box and it's.
Yeah. And they test them the same way. Like these bow manufacturers, what they'll do is like, it's rated at 350 feet per second, right? And it's like, okay, so 29-inch draw, maxed out, 350 grain arrow, and that's how they rate them, right? And these guys will be like, let's throw them through the chrono, And then there's people like was it Precision? He used to work with the bow rack, Precision Archer.
Yeah,
Precision Archer.
Yeah.
He would actually take different bows and different draw lengths and show you what the speeds were with different arrow weights too.
Yeah, which was a huge help.
Yeah, so
because
like
nobody shoots that weight of an arrow.
Yeah, so you'll be like 350, 390, 400, 410, 425, 460, and he's shooting all these things, and you're seeing the actual speed on them at certain draw lengths and stuff. So it's like, all right, I'm 29-inch draw, and he's 22,
27 and a half. almost.
So it's like there's a big difference. It's be tippy toe and stand on your left foot.
Yeah.
So that kind of variance could matter, and as far as feet per second, and these guys are showing that, and I haven't seen him produce anything. Maybe I haven't lost his page or something.
Yeah, you know what?
Kind of fell out of my algorithm.
I haven't seen a whole lot of him.
But he used to do that kind of stuff, right? So you're like, okay, I'm gonna buy that bow, and you're seeing what the actual speeds are. That might change your mind,
right?
On that bow. It's like, okay, well, it's not doing what I want it to do. So now you start looking at other things, and it's just being non-biased, man. Like, yeah, it's good information to have. So
yeah, definitely. That's something that it really sways me in what I'm gonna buy or not. Seeing some of that feedback, and then a great place to do that as well is TAC. Last year we went and we saw a bunch of equipment there that you're seeing all over social media or you're seeing all over the internet, and there's nothing like seeing it in person, getting to touch it, getting to feel it, getting to put your eyes through it, like that rangefinder that we saw up there. That thing was freaking clear, and man, that thing was beautiful. I was like, man, I want one of these, that loophole.
Yeah.
And then seeing that, seeing some of the new stuff from AAE, that was pretty cool too. But one thing that I do want to get into this year, we missed it, but next year is the trade show.
Well, there's a lot going on with that right now. Yeah. So we'll see where the ATA ends up. We'll see, man. They've been they're in the middle of a lawsuit right now. So hopefully they are able to continue things and we're able to go out and stuff to that. From what Scott Evans said,
it's the whole industry.
It's all like it's like SEMA, bro.
Yeah,
it's like the SEMA of the archery world, right? And it's normally not open to the public. And from what they're saying, next year they're going to have a certain amount of days where it's going to be open to the public and stuff. People to come in and try out things and try it out that way. But being that there's some legal issues right now, who knows what's going to happen with that, because there's a lot of big names that were involved in that lawsuit.
Every major bow manufacturer is involved. So basically I didn't
see Elite on that list.
Yeah, it said major.
Just saying.
I said only the good ones. So what they're accusing the major boat manufacturers
is price fixing.
Is price fixing.
Asshole.
Yeah. So they're accusing them of colluding with each other and figuring out, okay, hey, we're gonna put out this new product, we're gonna increase the price by $30. They're like, all right, we'll do the same thing. So
yeah,
every year, and we've seen it.
Yeah,
we've seen it every year. The premium bow flagship bows have been going up. I think when we first started doing this, it was like $7.99. $7.99.
So PSC had 3 different classes, right? You had your core, then you had your
Pro.
Was it Pro?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, core line, Pro line, and then flagship, right? And my first one was a Pro line, and that was the drive. And then the flagship bows, I think at that point were like $1,000, maybe 1,100 at max.
No,
they weren't that much. You don't think?
No, I think they were between 8 and 9.
I paid $7 for my core.
Yeah,
or for the Pro.
Yeah, 8. I want to say it was around 8 or 9.
And then when I finally got a flagship bow, I paid like $1,300, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And that's right now, $1,300 on the low end, man. That Omnia is the Omnia I paid $12 for.
$12.99.
Yeah, but see, like your bow, yeah, it's they got expensive, but of course, new technology and stuff, carbon, that matters too. But I think the first PSC carbon bow, the Stealth, was like $1,800.
13, 12. I don't remember.
Stealth.
Yeah.
No, 15.
15.
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah.
And now they fucking
19.
A lift will be like $1,900.
Yeah, $2,000 just for the bow, and then you still gotta
set it up.
Yeah, that's bare bow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a lot of change, man, in the last 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't be opposed to the increase in price if there was more engineering, more technology, more of a difference. But like from the Lift to the Lift X, there's not a whole lot of difference.
It's like dealing with a fucking Apple phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot new to it, and they charge you double.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens with the lawsuit and stuff, but I think they're not the only companies doing that. It's got to be.
I think it's worldwide, and I think
it's if they can prove it.
That's what
they're doing, but guilty
we'll see.
It's innocent till proven guilty. Of course, they go through their process and stuff, but it is what it is. I mean, that's their thing. We pay for what we use and stuff, and a lot of times in anything you hope that you get what you paid for.
Right.
And a lot of times, you can buy an expensive whatever it is, and it's garbage.
Not what, it's not what you wanted, or
well, and it goes back to that, because a lot of times, now with technology, and you have Amazon, and you have you can get stuff a lot faster than you could before, but it's also not available in the store. So for example, the Muley Freak backpack, I looked it up online, and I'm sure in there somewhere it gave you the dimensions of what it was supposed to be, but I didn't look at that, you know. And then of course, they have it available at Sportsman's, but not in the store. You can get it through them. So I went ahead and took a shot, bought it, and then when I got it, it was really small. And then the same thing with my bino harness, the game changer that I just got compared to the Muley Freak bino harness that I had before, it feels different. I don't know if it's worn in or what, but that's something that I do miss, being able to go to the store and look at it and kind of try it on, see if it fits, or and that's changed a little bit. And you would figure it being coming from them directly that you would save some money, but in reality it's more expensive. It makes no sense. So
not only that, man, when you do order something, it decides to take a tour of the U.S., so maybe that's why it's expensive. All the fucking gas money that goes into that. Yeah.
I know you were telling us earlier about your release that, said it was going to be here, then it wasn't here, and then it's here. And
it's just, I got the tracking number, but it never moved from LA. and all of a sudden I got it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
I ordered from Shields, man. Got my release from Shields, and it went from Colorado, it was Denver to Dallas to El Paso. I was like, all right, cool. I'll get it tomorrow. And then went from El Paso to Houston to Memphis, and then back to El Paso. At that point, I'm already sending emails and calling them, like, where's my shit?
Yeah.
You know, and it took 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks of traveling around everywhere for a little piece of metal. I said, what the hell? You know? And I finally got it, but damn, it took forever.
So you're gonna start shooting that release now, or like?
Yeah. Well, see, I'm dealing with target panic, man.
Okay.
And I don't know how I developed it. It's been an issue. But this thing, they say this is supposed to help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I even asked your buddy, what's his name, Chat GPT.
Yeah, Chat GPT. It's kind of like the Asian flu.
Yeah.
You know, the target panic. Okay.
Take your shots at me, huh?
I'm kidding.
Asshole.
But no, it's something that I think I'm dealing with a little bit as well. But it just it definitely helps not having a trigger or a mechanism to make it fire. Now the hinge, you can make it fire, but it's harder to do it the wrong way than it is to do it the right way.
And see, like, my problem's not punching the trigger; it's getting the damn pin up on the target, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, being that I'm pulling, it's gonna help me pick it up. I guess that's essentially what it's supposed to be doing. So I'm pulling it, and it's picking my bow up where I need it. And we'll see, man. I haven't shot it yet, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. So what it essentially is your brain knows that once that pin hits the target, that you need to squeeze the trigger. And it's there's, since there's no trigger, your brain's like, yeah, put it there. Go ahead, put it on the target. It's fine. Since you're not dealing with that.
And I've seen it already, right? So I'll draw my bow back, and I don't have my finger on the trigger. I can move that bow wherever I want it. It's not a problem. But as soon as I put my finger on the trigger, it's like, nope, you stop. I can't
pick it up.
It's like, nah. It's like that bow weighs 10,000 pounds, and I just can't pick it up.
Did you deal with that at all?
I thought you were singing.
I was about to. I was about to. Chewy, did you deal with that at all when you were dealing with like the rifles? I know for me, I get it more with rifle because I'm not too familiar with firearms, but getting whenever they say, all right, start to squeeze the trigger, you anticipate the recoil, and you're like almost expecting it to come through, and it makes it, like, for me, it makes it harder to squeeze the trigger because I'm just like, like it's coming.
Yeah, that used to happen to me until one of my buddies, he's an instructor for firearms. He told me when I'm pulling just to say squeeze, 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 and then just keep squeezing, and then it's just gonna go off. So when I start 308 or anything like that, that's what I do. And now it doesn't catch me. Well, it catches me off guard, but I control it more.
Yeah.
When I went to the bow, I was trying the same method, but if I found out it didn't work for that, like, it just, as soon as I put a little pressure, it pop off, and then it scared me. Yeah. And now with the thumb release, it's like I'm just putting pressure and I'm trying to pull back, but I still haven't.
That's interesting that you say it like that. That it didn't transfer over, because like, you would think you would.
Yeah, you would think, since it's the same trigger finger.
Yeah.
But this time I'm more aware of like, okay, I'm letting it go, and so I'll be on it, and then I'll be squeezing, and then I'll pull.
Yeah.
Like, I'd actually.
So it's kind of like you're getting impatient with it.
Maybe, or it was part of, like, I didn't know what target panic was, that it could take so many forms.
Yeah.
Whether it's I can't hold on target, or I'm punching it, or like, there's so many different levels of target panic that I started seeing it. And once I went to the thumb release, it felt like I was more relaxed. I don't know. Well, it's all mental, I guess.
It is. It is all mental. There's different ways to do it. Like with the rifle, you can get a feel for your trigger, right? Like just chambering, just the bolt, right? No round, and just squeeze until it goes off, and then do it again, squeeze. So it's like exercise. And it's when you're anticipating the recoil, you'll catch it there. But a lot of times, like what I do when people are shooting with me that have never shot before, I won't load around. I'll just move the bolt, and then you'll see them just flinch.
Yeah,
you know?
that to me.
You know, and I did that to both my kids, and neither one of them flinched. But now my son flinches. I did that to my brother with the 300 mag, and he flinched bad because he was expecting it. And then the next shot, you know, loaded around, and he thought I did the same thing, and boom, it went off, and it was a clean shot. And like that's the way you're supposed to shoot. Easier said than done, right? But it's the same thing. Like when you're talking to yourself, squeeze. If you catch some videos of Joel Turner, he has the shot IQ, and he talks about the same thing. He used to be a SWAT team, or what was he?
SWAT team.
So he had the situation and stuff he was in where he had a small window to shoot through, and he had to make it count. So he started talking to himself, you know, through the process, you know. Same thing with the bow, and he teaches that stuff too, where it's like bubbles level, sights on, squeeze, or he has here we go.
Yeah.
The here we go, and then it's just like talking to yourself through the shot process, and then boom, it goes off.
Yeah, it's kind of like my buddy Dak Prescott. Here we go.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, that one guy from the Cowboys, you know.
Yeah, I still don't know what you're talking about.
but yeah, no, it's a cadence, and it's just kind of making sure that you do that, and you know, it goes back to just preparing and making sure that you can execute no matter what. You know, there's this I always talk about this you know, story about it at work where you know, this old farmer guy hires a young hand for the farm, and he asks him, you know, what skills do you have? And he goes, I can sleep through the storm. And the farmer needs some help, so he just hires him anyway. He's like, whatever that means, I don't care. So he hires him, and you know, a big storm hits, and the young deckhand is able to sleep through it, but because everything's done. So the horses are put away, the water's done, the barn's hooked up how it's supposed to, everything's in place. So he's able to sleep through the storm because he's not worried about it. Anything. You know, and it's something that I don't do, is I don't prepare for that storm. You know, the whole, you know, off season that we have, tomorrow, and then next thing you know.
Yeah, man, procrastination.
Yeah. So, you know, it's one thing that I've tried to set myself up this year is, you know, try to get a little more prepared and stop making these adjustments to my equipment before the hunt. So we talked about it earlier. I'm going to leave my quiver on, trying to figure out my release, and just kind of leave it the same, stay consistent throughout. But I think you're gonna see some improvement with that hinge, definitely.
We'll see, man. We'll see. I'm hoping for it because then I want to go to Colorado and make a fool of myself. I want to win that truck, man.
Yeah,
that's a goal. So if I miss every target on the damn course, but I'm able to hit that damn caribou, I'm happy. Yeah, I'll be happy with it. But yeah, man. I mean, you'll see us messing with shit during competition and stuff, and it's a big no. We do it anyways, but you definitely don't want to be doing that out there in the field. So if you can practice the way you're gonna hunt, that's ideal. Again, though, like if you make a clean shot and like for example, when I made that 64-yard shot, and I thought he was dead, man. Honestly, I hit underneath them and stuff. That bothered me the whole day. I didn't have a bag target with me or a broadhead target with me to test it at that point in time. But if it's important, like if you do miss a shot like that and you're 100%, you know, mentally, you know that everything broke perfectly and there's no reason why you should have missed, take some practice shots and then maybe move your sights a little bit if you have to.
Yeah.
So it doesn't happen again. But that's the only kind of adjustment I would say that you might do in the field. You know?
Yeah. The best advice I could give you is do as I say, not as I do. Because we're always messing with stuff. But one of the things that I noticed at a YouTube is that you're a lot more consistent with when it comes to shooting. You know, man, I can make excuses for not shooting you know, every day of the week. And I constantly get, you know, messages from you about you shooting and stuff. So that's something that I can commend you on. It's pretty cool seeing you do that. So
yeah,
cool.
I feel like since this is, maybe it's wrong of my thinking or whatever, but since I don't have like all this high end stuff, like say you guys, like it's been handing me downs and whatever. So I'm like, man, I need to get like myself, like I could go out and shoot and get, like you said, keep it simple. You told me that, you know, just work with what I have and get good at that before I try to upgrade, before I try to, you know, keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
You know,
and you don't have to, man. You don't have to have the top equipment out there. You just keep it simple. I was on top for a long time, man, you know, with the competition and shit, and enough to push Chuck up into the open class. I was basically just winning, you know, league after league after league, you know, with the hunting setup. And then Jaime Rincon, he shows up with a bow that he doesn't even draw back all the way to his face. He's like 6 inches in front of his face, and he whooped my ass, dude. The bow didn't even fit him. And he fucking killed me, dude. And I was like, God damn it, he came out of nowhere and just smoked me, you know. And it's like he got used to shooting with that bow. Even though it wasn't set up for him, he got used to it. So it's not the equipment itself, it's how you're using it. And how you know, if you can get good with a crooked barrel, you know, that's your gun. You might be the only one that can shoot that damn thing, but you're good with it.
There's a saying, it's what is it, dedication beats talent, you know. And it's the same thing. It doesn't matter what equipment you have, you know, it's all about the time that you put behind that equipment. And that's kind of what it comes down to when you're out there in the, you know, when you're hunting or when you're performing in these like 3D shoots or tournaments, stuff like that. It doesn't matter. You know, the target doesn't care what kind of bow you have or how much you spent on your arrows or how much you spent on your release. None of that matters. It's the time that you spent behind that equipment.
And you know, when I first went with you, I was just like kind of embarrassed of my little $15 quiver I had, and I'm like, and not one person even blinked an eye. They just said, "Hey man, have fun," or "How'd you do?" or "Oh, first time," and that's what got me kind of like it. I was like, man, no one cares what.
No one does.
As long as they just care about your score sheet, like, hey, how'd you do? You do good, or did you have fun? That's another one. Did you have fun? Like, yeah, dude, it was fun, exciting. And so after that, I'm like, oh, I don't care then, like, because you know, I was just like, man, these guys are gonna have these expensive bows, all this high tech stuff, and I'm just coming over here with whatever I thought, you know, and it's just, and now I'm just like, oh, okay, I don't care. Just go out there and
I mean, I think the archery community, man, is probably one of the less judgmental communities you can be a part of. And of course, when you get into the making a little bit of a name for yourself, guys argue about everything, bro. You know, fucking Ford, Dodge, Chevy, you know, the same thing. Matthews is better than freaking Bowtech. Bowtech's better than PSC, or these guys all shit on Elite. You know, I don't care. I shoot my bow. You know what I mean? But it's just, it's not malicious. It's just
it's just it's all in fun. It's all in fun.
And I thought it was gonna be like you know, but it was a whole different world, and that's what I liked about it too. That's why I say it feels like it's so long until we have to have another. Like
you're anxious to get back out there.
Man,
you know that was one thing that you're talking about that kind of brought you back to, you know, the car community, because that scene was more like, oh, those are knockoff wheels, or oh, this is knockoff that, oh, you shouldn't have that, or
like you got all your parts from AutoZone.
Is that an eBay build? And it was like, what the heck, man? Like it shouldn't matter. You know, you put the time into the car, you put the time into
that's a ricer.
Man. and that was something that kind of discouraged me from that, you know, and we're talking about that today. I'm like, man, I wish I could build me a little Honda with adult money. But it was the same kind of sentiment towards it. Like, you spent all of your money, you put all of the time, you know, into your car, and you were proud of it, and it made you feel shitty when you go out there and do a car meet and they would just like shit on your car, and you're like, what the hell, man? So that's something that, you know, I've seen in the archery community that's totally different. You know, everyone embraces each other. I like to pay it forward, because I had, you know, the same experiences at the bow shop when my stuff got stolen, and they helped me here's a release, man. Here's a couple of arrows. You know, so if there's anything that I could do to kind of pay that forward, I freaking love doing that. It's cool, and it's more. It means more when you see that person enjoy that gear, or you know, you see their scores jump. Like Chewy's has been jumping. His scores have been getting higher and higher. And it just kind of makes you feel good. And you're like, hell yeah, that's fucking cool.
You have somebody enjoying the sport and excelling at it, man. And like I told you earlier, I'm glad, dude. I'm happy to see you enjoying the sport and how far you've come from where you started and stuff. But dude, you even go like to tack, man. Nobody even looks at the bows. I mean, we do. Yeah. We don't talk about them, but it's like, oh shit, he's got the new UV slider. Oh shit, he's got the new stabilizer or whatever it might be. Oh, this guy has the new this. Yeah, like, that's cool. And then we're like, hey man, how do you like that? You know, It's not like, that's a piece of shit. It's never like that with anybody, man. So we've met some cool ass people out there, and they're just even the group we shot with. Yeah, you know, they weren't criticizing your shot, whatever. They just fucking, oh shit, you almost got that one. Yeah, you know, it's cool, man. It's complete strangers, and nobody's talking shit about your equipment
even
at all.
In like serious competition. You know, shot ASA, and you shot with complete strangers, and you know, you're scoring and they're beating you or you're beating them, and it's never about that target or the target before. It's, did you get a tag this year? Do you hunt? Where are you from? What just are you into? You know, and stuff like that. Oh, hey man, like that site. How do you like it? It's always that, man, and it's always a good time. And I kind of feel like this community that with archery, it's more united. And that's why all these events are so successful, because everyone puts in, you know, the same time, the same effort, and they all want to go out there and have some fun and hang out with like-minded people. And it's so much fun, man. So I'm excited. I'm excited to do it again this year with TAC. And then I haven't been to Skates, so that's something that I want to do for sure this year, is hit up Skates. You know, hopefully you guys go too, and we can make a weekend out of it and have some fun.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. If I can get my shit together, I might go up there just to hang out or actually compete. The ASA state championship for here in New Mexico is the 12th and the 13th. It's in San Rafael, which is the same weekend as TAC. So we won't be doing that one.
Yeah, they're lucky I'm gonna miss it.
Yeah. But I mean, from what I can tell, man, the ASA numbers, even though we dropped out of it on our end here in Deming, it looks like they've done pretty good.
They did all right. And it's nothing personal. It's just,
no.
You know, it's just, I don't see the value in it anymore. And, you know, my work schedule hasn't been the same. So it's just something that I was like, you know what, I'm going to put, you know, that money that I was spending on hotels and all that stuff into something else.
Yeah.
And it's nothing personal against the way that they're doing stuff. And, you know, it's a great organization, and I recommend it, you know, for new up and coming archers, even the kids. It's great fun. It's just not for me.
Yeah, and I can see that too, man. We didn't do it this year because, you know, it's and I'm kind of glad that we didn't do it this year. We did it because we didn't feel like we were gonna make you know, a good profit for our club and stuff, and there's another couple of reasons too. Yeah. So, but I won't get into that. But
at the end of the day, it's what's best for the club.
Yeah, and that's where we were at. That's where we were at. You know, what's best for our club and stuff. And even though, you know, our competitors down here didn't have a chance to shoot in their hometown, they still got to go shooting cruises. You know, and they still get to have their fun and whatever. But I'm kind of glad that it didn't go down this year, because the last couple of months, man, have been shitty weather for us. You know, wind, dust storms, and crazy. Man, it's been bad. So, you know, it's better that we didn't have it, because we didn't have people traveling in that shit. And first of all, and second, we don't want people traveling from all over the state and then not being able to shoot comfortably in our spot. You know, we already got a bad rip for leaving the wind on.
Yeah, so, the president of that club always leaves the wind on. Never hit that button to turn it on.
You used to see the fees on that.
Yeah.
Now, but yeah, I mean, it was turned out better than we thought it was going to be. We started doing 2 days this year and stuff, but it's been fun. I just, you know, hopefully we're out of the wind cycles and stuff. And
it looks like it this weekend. This
weekend's been
hot as hell.
Just the heat. So what we do different in the summertime is we'll do a short course, up and down the road, and still do your 20. Just because we don't want nobody getting hurt, heat exhaustion and all kinds of shit. Yeah, man. So we'll look forward to seeing you out there in a couple of weeks.
Yep, and I'll be there.
Yeah.
Too bad I missed December. I missed 1 month, not December, January. Yeah, and I was just like, man, my score. If I would have been doing better in points.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're one step higher than you think you are, because my scores are on there, but they don't mean shit.
Oh, really?
I gotta take mine out. I think I did that this last go around, but yeah. I mean, I think I didn't shoot in April. I don't think I shot, or maybe this last shoot I didn't shoot. There was one of them. I missed a couple, but I'm not competing. So you're actually a little bit higher than you think you are. But yeah, man. Seeing from where you started to where you're at now, like
huge improvement.
Yeah.
You're
cool.
You're a contender for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even the way the first I was nervous that I was just so nervous. I'm like, man, I was in my own head. Like the first shoot, I was just like, man, I need to just calm down. And now I'm just like, all right, I gotta try to make sure.
So what's been the hardest learning curve, man, that you've had to deal with being a new archer?
Calming myself down.
Yeah, that's it.
Just not getting not worried about the person behind me. Just it's just me up there, and then just calming myself down, because I would tell him that I was nervous. I'd be up there just nervous. Yeah. And now it's like, all right, cool. We're all just talking there and BSing, and then just try to get a good shot. And now, like, if I do a bad shot, I gotta just whatever. Instead of being like, oh, dang it. Like, just be like, oh, maybe I'll do better next time.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's a good positive way to think about it, man. Whenever I'm, helping coach these kids at the NASP events, they'll have a bad shot, and it's like, that arrow doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
It's already gone. There's nothing you can do about it. So just focus on the next one.
Yeah.
The only arrow that matters is the one that's on your bow right now.
Yep.
And if you can keep that mindset, man, and continue to go through your process and do everything correctly, consistent, those arrows will fly right every single time. You're going to have a flyer every now and then. Right. You'll notice too, like when you buy arrows, let's say you shoot 6, one of them's always out. It's just the way things go, and then get into like knock tuning and all that kinds of shit. But we're going to leave that there, because we don't want you to to go, what is knock tuning? Go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
What did Josh say? No, Josh said, don't do that shit.
Yeah. Keep it simple.
Yeah, keep it simple. Dude.
Yeah.
That's the best advice I can give you, dude, is keep it simple.
Yeah.
Don't worry about having the top-notch shit. Just keep it simple. Shoot what you shoot and be comfortable with what you're doing. And I mean, you're obviously doing it, because your groups are way tighter than.
Yeah, he's got way better groupies than me.
Yeah.
So I did have a question, and it's shooting. Sometimes when I pull my bow back, it feels like I hit a wall and then it comes forward. Am I just pulling it too fast?
You might be underbowed now.
So now I need
You might, yeah.
You feel like it's like spongy.
Yeah, when I come back, instead of hitting that nice little wall, it feels like I hit and I come through. Like I pull back too far or too.
That happened to me when I got my second bow, because my first bow, that draw cycle was crazy. But when I got the Evoke, I shot it at 60 pounds for a long time, and then at first it was hard to get back all the way. So I remember I would get to about 3/4 of the way, and then I would ease it back, and it would lock in, and then I wouldn't get there. And eventually, I'd pull back, and I would go past 3/4 of the way, and I would go all the way to the back, and I would hit that back wall, and it would push my arm forward a little bit, and the next thing you know, I'm jumping forward. I would try to turn it up and see if that fixes it, but I could be wrong.
Well, when I first got it, I felt like it was the heavest thing in the world, and now, like, you know, I could just pull it back with you know, holding it straight. And
a good way to test that, and it's pretty universal. That I've seen a lot of people talk about this is making sure that you're not overbowed is to sit down, right? Sit down, and if you can get your feet off the ground, even better, and then draw your bow back. And if you can draw it back without sky drawing it, pointing the bow to the sky and pulling back and twisting your neck all crazy and doing that, you know, you're overbowed. But if you can sit down comfortably and pull it back and anchor, then you're good.
Yeah, because I've seen videos about that, and I've done it. I sat down on a chair, pulled back, and it's, you know, I'm like not nothing. Stressing. Yeah, it's just. Yeah, I mean, right now I think I'm pulling 55 pounds.
You could probably
maybe
turn it up a full turn, you know, on both limbs. Make sure that you do both the same amount, and try it there and see what happens. You know, if it feels better. I mean, you're drawing back super easy.
Yeah.
I would try that, man. Turn it up. You might have to move your sights a little bit, but I would try turning up a full bolt turn and go from there. You know, see if that helps that draw cycle of yours.
Yeah, because I like the way it is now, because I could shoot 50 arrows and not be crazy tired. You know.
Yeah.
So with PSCs, I believe in the years, you got 10 limb bolt turns from bottom to top. So you're at 55 pounds. I'm thinking it's 70 pounds.
It's 70.
So one bolt turn should put you right around like
60.
58, 59 pounds maybe.
So one full turn?
Full turn, yeah. Yeah, it should be about there. Because it's 50 to 70. And if you're at, it should be about 57, 58 pounds. I think it goes in like 2-3 pound increments. And if it's too much, just back it down half.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but just play with it, you know. The worst thing that's going to happen, accuracy wise, you're going to have to move your pins a little bit because your gap's going to be a little bit smaller, but it shouldn't change it too much.
Yeah. And I could stay with my same arrows, right? Okay.
Yeah, you should be able to stay with the same arrows. I mean, depends on the spine. I don't know what spine you're shooting.
400?
Yeah. They're 400s? Yeah, you should be good. You should be good. We can actually look that up. Another cool thing, I don't know if you know this about Easton. Did you order them straight from Easton?
Amazon.
Amazon?
Yeah.
So Easton has this cool thing, man. Like if you go on their website, you can actually do the chat line, and they can tell you what different parts fit that arrow. So like if you wanted to mix and match arrows, since you're into building them now, you can definitely do it. They'll tell you what components fit on it. Pretty cool.
Yep. Yeah, so I think this is a good stopping point for this one. We're gonna go ahead and stop it there, and then we'll check back in with Chewy here in a couple of months and kind of see where his journey's led, and kind of see where he's at with his bow and his arrow build, and if anything's changed. We'll kind of take a recap and kind of bookmark it there. But yeah, man, thanks for coming out. Thanks for doing this. We've been talking about it for a little while. I know you were a little nervous, but did pretty good, man.
Yeah, man. It's just fluent, right?
Yeah.
It's just the guys talking.
Yep.
Yes, sir. But all right, we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Thank you, my bio. Subscribe.